So, just so you guys know and aren't too disgusted, I don't normally chew like that, although Beyonce probably would disagree. So what we have here is the first part of my peaking phase of squats. So a total of 8 sets with 3 reps each in each set, using 90%, then dropping it down to around 80%. Now today initially called for 490, and normally I probably wouldn't mess with this on the peaking cycle, but you guys know how I am, and I figured 495 would not only just look better, but make me feel better. I have the tendency to kind of let my mind play tricks on me when I see lots of weight on the bar, and honestly, when the weight's spread out further, it just looks and feels heavier to me. If it's true or not, I will never know. But for this particular day, I had just squatted on Thursday, as you guys know, and I was complaining about some chest pain when I actually brought my shoulders back. I can thankfully say that it got better over the weekend, so no issues during this particular day, just besides the fact that the weight was extremely heavy for me. So I was really concerned I was not going to get through this particular workout. That first set you saw felt really, really heavy, and so did all the other sets. But after I got the first one under my belt, I at least knew that I was able to move the weight, and I knew that this should feel heavy because, again, working with 90% of my current 1 rep max. So the weights, not moving as fast as I wanted. They do look better here, in my opinion, on film. I was happy that I was able to get all the work done overall. So this is the first time for me running this peaking phase, and it's really based roughly around the Peaking for Powerlifting video that Garrett Blevins did for me a couple of months back, and I'll be sure to link that in the description box below. However, we made some slight changes. One of the things we didn't change, however, was the layout of it, and I think going forward that might be something I'll look into, only because, again, I typically squat towards the end of the week, and this peaking phase starts with a squat day and has deadlifts at the end. And I think going forward, what I'll probably do is flip-flop those around. I just didn't for this particular day, only because, as you know, tomorrow I'm leaving for Kansas City, which gives me my bench day on Wednesday, and I'll be traveling all day Friday, so I won't be able to lift. So I'm going to do deadlifts on Thursday. And it's just easier for me traveling and doing deadlifts rather than traveling and doing squats, because I don't have to worry about bringing my shoes, my knee sleeves, things of that nature. I can just really bring my belt and the shoes that I'd probably be bringing to train with anyways. And speaking of training, you should see that Wednesday and Thursday session eventually sometime next week when I'm back in town, and that would be with Michael Corey and Ryan Padilla as well, so a little bit of a collaboration while I'm out in Kansas City. They're going to make the drive. I think it's a 4-hour drive each way to come up and train, so that should be pretty fun. And it's always nice to get into different gyms, and we have a nice one picked out. So if you guys follow me on Instagram or Facebook, I'll probably post some information about that too, if anyone's in the area and wants to try to meet up either for training or food or whatever. And for those of you, again, who haven't seen that video, I highly recommend it, but the peaking phase works this week is Monday, Wednesday, traditionally Friday, 8 total sets, 4 sets of 3 at 90%, followed by 4 sets of 3 at 80%. So you're watching my 80% right here, which is 435. And I really like filming from this side angle. This is where a judge would typically be seated, and I think going forward it would really help my ego if I just filmed all sets like this, just because, as you can see when I move the camera around, sometimes it's hard to tell if I'm hitting depth, but from the side view, in my opinion, there's no real doubt, so I'm really happy with that. Now, another thing this peaking cycle is going to allow me to do both this week and next week is really allow me to get a good feel of where my opener should be. So the weight you saw at 90% is, for me, my baseline opener, meaning that all things considered, if I don't really feel great, this is still something I should be able to do. Now, typically speaking, what we say is, something you can hit for an easy triple. And even though those triples didn't look easy for me today, hitting 4 sets of 3, that kind of really boosts my confidence, as this is a weight I should be able to do just for 1 single rep. And then next week, on the peaking cycle, when the weights ramp up some, that'll give me kind of what I consider my top line opener if I need to be, or even potentially my second attempt. So I'm really glad to have this in place, as before I would just do my programming and go into a meet and kind of just say, all right, well, this is what I think my 1 rep max is. Let me kind of base it around there. And I think that's played into some of the reasons why I haven't been able to necessarily put a 9 out of 9 meet together. I'm not saying I will. I don't want to give myself any bad karma or bad juju, so to say, but I'd really like to hit 9 out of 9, even if it's at the cost of potentially leaving a little bit on the platform. But we'll really see, because I really want to put together that good, solid meet. But that was the workout, so just 8 working sets. It actually took me quite a while just because the weight was heavy and I rested longer. However, what I wanted to show also is the shirt I'm wearing from Conquering Barbell. I'll be showing one of these in each of the next videos for the peaking cycle. They've always hooked me up really well, and this shirt has sold extremely well, as we didn't mention it in video, just on social media, and we only have a few of the sizes left, so if you're interested, you can definitely pick one up. Tri-blend material and pretty comfortable if I do say so myself. Now that I'm on the actual shirt subject, I want to just show you something I got in the mail when I came home. I was really surprised. Now, I've talked to Bart Kwan on and off for YouTube and emails for quite a while, and he had mentioned he was going to send me a couple of shirts, which I really appreciate because I really love his channel. I like what they do. Not to mention, I think they have one of the nicest and cleanest designs out there. But I came home to this box from Barbell Brigade, and as you can see, it's pretty fancy. I mean, not a lot of people go above and beyond like this to give you a true unboxing experience, so to say. You saw that card on top. It basically says, you know, you stand for a lot of the same things that we believe in, and we just want to know that we appreciate what you do. So that's really cool because, like I said, I have a lot of appreciation for Bart and Gio and all the people over at Barbell Brigade. You can see that they sent me 2 shirts, again, some pretty sweet designs, and they also sent me a hoodie, which is always nice because when you don't have any gains like me, you get cold quite easily. So again, big thanks to Bart. I'll link his channel in the description box below if for some reason you haven't seen him before. So, as always, thanks for watching, and stay big. For some reason, I woke up this particular day with a strain on the right side of my chest. I don't know what it is, but it's actually still very painful.